Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right. We have done all the work for you. All you have to do is push play, and wow, it's only been like 2 weeks, and I feel like it's been forever, and I'm out of practice, and I don't remember how I opened the show. But today we will not be dancing with ourselves. Today we will be talking about Generation X, and depending on where you read that, it might also say featuring Billy Idol. So this one came out of you, Gavin. I think you hopped into the Discord Deprogrammed channel and said, "Hey, Bullpen, what's the deal with Generation X? Has that one been done yet?" So talk to me about Generation X and what brought that to the forefront for you.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you guys. I'm stoked. I've wanted to do an episode with Randy forever, and I love being on with John. And I don't know. John may have put them on the board. I'm not sure if they were up on the boards or not. But
I think it was you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah. John was just saying it was you. You put them up.
Oh, okay. I was so bummed I missed the jam, and you guys did such a great job on that. And I love how you guys have covered all the kind of UK first wave A-listers, and then I wanted to get in on it, so I thought, well, let's start throwing some B-listers up there. Gen X is definitely like a first wave B-lister. It just sprung to mind. They're not like I never cared about Billy Idol. Even I was a hardcore new wave kid. I grew up, that was epicenter for me. But when I saw when I was really young, I saw Don Letz's punk rock movie. And there was a movie called DOA about the Sex Pistols, which you guys may have seen. And there's footage of Generation X in both those movies. And I was just so captured by them. They were so beautiful and so fucking cool and really powerful. They're backstage singing a cappella, and then there's this footage of them playing live in the studio. And I just got totally kind of captivated by them. Yeah.
Sometimes I think John just says yes to whatever, but let's see if we can get a real answer here. John, when this got proposed, you said, "Yeah, I'm in." So talk to me about it. Was this discovery? How did this work out for you?
My reputation precedes me. No, just kidding. Yeah, Generation X is one of those bands that I don't usually go back to, but I think the first time I heard of them, there's the famous quote from Billy Joe from Green Day back in the 90s. Someone had asked him, "Oh, what do you think of Generation X?" Talking about, the generation that was named after this. But he goes, "Oh, not much. I know I like their first record, though." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And of course, Billy Idol is this, he became kind of this punk caricature in the 80s. You think of Billy Idol, you think him with the shirt off and the sneer and the studded collar and all that, and being all tough on MTV. That became something different. But yeah, they weren't, I think even at the time they were considered kind of outside of the, like you said, Gavin, the A-list of bands. They played with some of those bands and they would open up, but I think they were, they were a little bit younger and considered maybe a little bit pretenders, to those bands, the Jam, the Clash, the Damned. But again, Billy Idol, of course, has a really good sense of melody. He went on to do really good things and, become a huge star. But I think that, it's worth going back to kind of remember like where that started, and they kind of get lost to history. Dancing with Myself obviously became a big hit for Billy Idol, but I think they had some other songs. So I was excited to do this just to kind of dig in and see, how they stand up against those other bands and where they kind of started.
Similarly, how I said John just likes to say yes. Randy, I believe your words were exactly "you owe me" after the jam dropped out. Yeah, well, not to me, to Gavin. You said I'm owed one.
Oh.
so you said yes. But I get the feeling again that this isn't something that was really close to you. I mean, you may have been familiar, but talk to me about it.
Yeah, no, not close to me at all, actually. When I'm into that generation of English punk bands, the A-listers, as you guys said, and as we did the Jam a couple months ago, the Jam was really one that of that mold that I wasn't into. And immediately from the jump, I'm like, oh man, yeah, of course. And Generation X, like, again, I think kind of what John was saying a little bit, like Billy Idol, it's his story. And it's kind of how it all developed and kind of what he came into. I don't know if we sit here right now and talk about Generation X if Billy Idol didn't become what he became. Dancing with Myself hit nonetheless, but it's fascinating to go through it. It's fascinating to go through it and listen to it because you can see those stages of his personality develop. And you can definitely tell that, like, I don't know if it's a sense of like, oh, this guy is gonna, make a name for himself or something like that. But you can tell that he had the charisma to do it. You can tell that he, as John said, had a sense of melody, like put songs together very, very nicely. The band kind of had a little bit of two different sounds to them. And that's kind of sort of where, that 1977, 1978, where punk was still a heavy influence in England. Then you turn the corner for the decade in the 80s and it's in the other direction. It's very new wave. And they kind of dipped their toe into both genres a little bit. And that was interesting. But yeah, like overall with Generation X, really not much. And I don't know why. I just never thought about it, and I was never that big of a Billy Idol fan. I feel like, he's one of these guys where the radio hits, and it's like, do I really want to dig in? Is there much more to go after Rebel Yell and White Wedding and some of those other songs? Like, or are you satisfied with what you hear? There's some bands that you listen to and you're like, whoa, what is that sound? I need to go pick up the record. And then there are some that I listen to and you're like, oh, hey, that song isn't bad. And I recognize that song, but I don't know. Would I ever go get their album? I don't know. Maybe, probably not. And yeah, I never thought to do that with Billy Idol, but listening to Generation X a little bit, and maybe I can be convinced because I can see how a little bit of Generation X went into his solo career, but also I think I think that punk mentality was a lot of, as John said, a caricature as well. But fun listen for this. I had a lot of fun digging in.
Fun listen, easy listen. It's funny. The last couple Fredo episodes, fun is usually a word reserved for Fredo episodes, and not solely, but like usually that's a theme around that. And the last couple we've done that hasn't. This fits that like to a T. There isn't a ton here. It's funny that that's the Billy Joe quote, because when I look at it, that I could have taken that first record 16 songs. I could have just taken that and we could have called it a day. But like Dancing with Myself keeps coming up here, and I think it's worth noting that I have to get reminded every couple years. Now I won't have to because now we've done this, but like that isn't a Billy Idol song. Like, I feel like it got introduced to me as a Billy Idol song. And, you know, every so often I like to watch old Beavis and Butthead episodes, and that song is on there, and it goes Generation X. I'm like, Generation X? I thought it was Billy Idol. And then, of course, you look up Generation. Oh, duh. And you know, like I said, I'm reminded of it, you know, every couple years. But that's the introduction, right? Like that's how you get to know it. This was just it. I mean, you know, not mind bending. Like you're not breaking hearts to miss stuff. Although I did the thing where you're listening beforehand and it's like, maybe I should have had that. But I think it was 40 songs, so it just meets the 20 criteria. So you get half of the songs, Gavin, going in. Like, is there much gameplay here, or are you just kind of, you know, just taking what you want?
Yeah, I think I mean, for me, I guess I feel like I haven't listened to some of the Generation X in a long time, and like I remembered it more fondly than when I listened to it again. I think if they had stopped after 78, after that first run of singles and the first record, it'd be a lot more revered um, and remembered. I think that they really struggled and had some missteps on the last couple records, and I don't know, kind of fell apart in a messy way. So yeah, I mean, I think the gameplay for me was like, how far am I going to skew to that initial kind of rush of like really great just songs? They just have the fucking songs in the beginning; they're great. And how much do I want to be, you know, sympathetic to what they were trying to do and give some spread out the love into the other records? You know, that was the gameplay for me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. John, you're usually pretty methodical with it. Was there a method to the madness this go around?
A little bit. I mean, like you mentioned, with the amount of songs, you have a little more room to play around with, you know, going with some different things. And, you know, normally I try to just hit on what grabs me immediately. And there were a lot of those early, obviously. But, you know, as you go on, it's like, okay, so if I hear something I like on this, I need to go back because, you know, knowing that, excuse me, knowing that we're going to get every other song early on, you can be like, yep. But as you get down to it, it's more like, okay, now I have to make some decisions. So probably 18 through 20 was just a matter of like, man, do I want album representation? Do I care about that, or do I just want the best songs? How many of this type of song do we need? Started getting into all that. That last couple took a little time.
Randy, lately you've kind of taken a different approach to making your list. But we were talking a little bit beforehand. You said this one was fun. So, I mean, was it difficult to get down to your 20?
Not really. I don't think it was difficult. I think what it was just, as usual with this, is you give it a listen once through, and this is an easy one to do that with. Some of them aren't as easy because you got like 6, 7 albums, but this is, you know, 2.5 hours maybe, soaking wet.
Yeah.
And you can listen to it once or twice through and be like, okay, I like when I can go back and remember a melody, remember lyrics, remember a hook. And if I did that, I wrote it down immediately. And then I'd listen again. This is not one like a Tom Petty episode or the band, which we're working on now, where I'll make a separate playlist for everything that advances. I'm just listening straight through to see if there's anything that continues to hit me in the right way. And I think as I was narrowing down today, there were a couple things where I'm like, man, I do remember that song. Should this song be in over that? Because I had written one down that was, I don't know, maybe not hitting me in the moment. And I just kind of, you know, I guess that's one of the things that you were trying to say, like at the last minute, like, man, this feels good right now. Should I make that decision? Should I not? And I always go with, you know, what have you done for me lately? make the decision, go with your gut at that moment, and you have it. And this was not that difficult of a listen, being 40 songs. And I think that either we're going to have like, 27 songs that we use in this episode, or it'll be all 40. So I'm not too worried about it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sweat here. I think that like it doesn't feel like there's heavy stakes. Like this doesn't feel like a band where like if we pick, we'll say song X, it doesn't feel like I can't believe we forgot song Y. Gameplay probably is gonna be a lot of twos. We'll probably nail a good portion of threes. I get the feeling we're all. I don't want to make assumptions. I can tell you from my list, I'm heavy on the first record. To Gavin's point, that's where the songs are. Like there's stuff after that, but like the songs, what are we doing here? We're trying to get somebody to take the 2 hours and be into this band. To me, that first record's the one, and then you can listen to the others. They're fine. I don't get, stakes don't feel high. There isn't a lot, and that could go either way here for the final say, Gavin. That could lead to lots of ones and twos, or we could be over quick. What do you think for the final say? How many do you think we get through unanimously?
I have one heartbreaking one out there that is going to really hurt if we don't get it. But I agree. I think you explained that right. I think we'll get 4.
Okay, yeah. 4 seems about right. We got 4 people, so what do you think, John?
Yeah, that was going to be my choice, but I think it sets up to almost accidentally fall into 5, so I'm going to go with 5.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. What do you think, Randy?
I'll skew one higher. It's, you got half of the catalog that is being picked by each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers will find their way. And if something is halfway good enough to all 4 of us, then we're probably going to have it.
Yeah.
So I think 6 is the number.
All right. So do I go higher or lower? My instinct is actually higher because I feel like there's not a lot of room to play. The thing that keeps giving me pause is there's 4 of us and 3 of I don't know how. I don't know. I'm gonna go with 3. I don't like it. I feel like 3's too low. I feel like 4 was kind of the number. John said he was leaning there. Gavin went there. I feel like 4 is the number. I think like John said, we could accidentally stumble into 5, but in that same premise, there could be 2 that were like, oh my God, that one? Okay. And that could get us to that 6. That happening 3 times past, who knows? All right. Like I said, 3 feels low, but I don't want the responsibility anyway. And I will not recuse myself. John offers that up every time. I will not. I'll continue to play it, even though it's really backfired on me a lot this year. So we're going to take a quick pause. And when we come back, we won't play the game, Jack. It's deprogrammed. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The 4 of us have combed through the Generation X with Billy Idol discography and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you in case you have never given Generation X the time of day, or maybe you heard a song and didn't realize it was them and thought it was just Billy Idol like me. And I'm going to start there. We can't have this conversation without this song. I mean, it's already come up a million times. We can't have this conversation without at least talking about it. At least 2 of us should have it. To me, it should be in because it is a fun song. I really do like it. Blink did a fun cover of it too. Dancing with Myself.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna go through this list and pick the one that is obviously universal. Not pick the one that's obviously universal, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if somebody was going to try to be cute. You never know.
Not the episode where you have to be cute. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. You really don't have to. You know, I could understand if somebody wants to not make it the number one. You know, we'll get to that when we get there.
We'll have that conversation.
But like, it can't not come up, and to me, it can't not be on the list. So I'm glad it gets in flying colors, because that removes that already. So all right. Dancing with Myself is in. And Gavin, where do you want to go?
So it's funny when I was listening to the later two records that it's been a while, I was like, wow, dude, I kind of wish Fredo would love this. It's kind of like encompasses a lot of the stuff he likes. There's some butt rock on here, you know, like there's some real roller rink songs on here, and like there's some 70s hours going on here for sure. And I forget sometimes that these bands were like fucking, you know, they were lodged coming out of the 70s, you know, and like I feel like there was two camps in those early punk bands, that the weird bands that were into like Roxy Music, Bowie, Iggy, Krautrock, Beefheart, you know, like Wire, like the Banshees, the bands that got really weird. And then there were bands that came like organically from the Beatles and the Stones and like the 70s and rock and roll. And that's like Generation X and the Undertones, and I don't know, maybe like even the Stranglers, coming from kind of like classic rock. And when the Clash sang, you know, No Elvis, Beatles, or the Rolling Stones in 1977, and kind of were like, let's do Scorched Earth and burn this down and start all over. Generation X saying, you know, I'm still in love with the Beatles. I'm still in love with the Stones and Bobby Dylan, because I'm in love with rock and roll. And they were just really sort of like just an extension of pure fun rock and roll. And the song I was quoting is called Ready, Steady, Go, one of their first singles. And yeah, I love that song. That's my pick.
I got it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. And for the record, that is one I got. I think we only got like 2 or 3 answers on this one, and that was one that came up on everybody's board. So I will say this. I think it initially didn't make my cut. I went back and listened to it. Oh, that's an oversight. and added it on. I mean, this was sometime last week, I think, whenever I asked. So yeah, there we go. All right.
My favorite version of that song is still the Boris the Sprinkler cover from their live record. It's great.
All right. We're cruising.
That's a deep cut. Nobody knows Boris the Sprinkler. But
I do not know Boris the Sprinkler, but I do know you, John, and you're up.
So I'm going to keep going with the quote unquote classic ones. I think this one's right under those as far as, you know, songs that people know. Let's go Kiss Me Deadly.
Yep. I got it.
Well, I thought it was going to be a Lita Ford cover, but took it anyway.
Hell yeah, Kiss Me Deadly.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's your 3, Justin.
To your point, John, like that was the other one that was on almost everybody's answer. So again, technically an oversight, and I went back and listened to it and was like, oh no, I gotta have this. And then I was listening to it today and I was like, I have this, right? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. So there we go. No pressure, Randy, but
I know. I really want to sweep this.
We could get 20.
Oh, I feel like the one that I'm going to say right now, and granted, top songs on Spotify or what their singles were or anything like that, I assumed that the 3 that we already played were their top 3. I made that assumption. But I think that this song is catchy enough where the 4 of us would think, okay, let's add it in. And it's another, you know, the classic category. How about Promises, Promises?
yeah, I get it.
I didn't take it.
Ooh.
I do have it.
All right, we'll take that 3. We'll take that 3. All right.
Sorry, it didn't sweep. We tried.
Yeah, we were close. we were one person away from a first round sweep. Like that's a good first round.
Yep.
I feel like we can easily get past my 3. Now the question
I
is,
should have taken the shortcut, which I think you're probably going to take now.
well, no, I'm not. I mean, I think I want to play around because I do feel like there's a couple. So like I think I want to kind of play around with like later stuff, see if I can find you guys there, like some of the stuff that kind of stuck out to me. Yeah. How about Night of the Cadillacs?
I do not have that one.
Nope.
No.
Got too cute. I will say this just to protect myself. That is an answer I got. So I was not out in the ocean on my own. Just when it came time to play, I was. All right, Gavin?
I'm going to go to the second record, Valley of the Dolls. One thing I kind of liked about their tension that they had is, Billy Idol is famously like a bacchanalian, like all excess and drugs and all that stuff. And Tony James, the other like kind of rock solid member, the bass player, was always a teetotaler, like sober, never did drugs or drank. And I just like that kind of dynamic about the two of them. But there's a really kind of beautiful little song on the second record called English Dream. Do you guys have English Dream?
I sure do.
Nice.
Nope.
No, I don't have that one. But we will take the 2. Because it brings it on up. All right. John?
All right, I'll play your game and I'll go to the back half. How about Running with the Boss Sound?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I have that.
Yeah, I've got it.
Nice.
All right.
Sweet.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that's necessarily like, oh my God, I can't believe it, but I definitely did not have that on my radar as everybody's got that.
We
It's
fell
an
into
album
that one.
lead-off song. Yeah.
Don,
Like,
do
usually
you
that
think,
brings a ton of energy.
do you think that he's referencing Springsteen in the title?
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
All right. Boom and boom. All right, Randy?
I'm going to go from the third record. And actually, in the order of the playlist, I think that Valley of the Dolls was the last record. So I think it was a little jumbled, which makes a whole lot of sense now that they would evolve into what Kiss Me Deadly would be. But what's weird is that Kiss Me Deadly was on the first album, but yet they named an album after it. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but I'm going to go here with Heaven's Inside.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
There's 5. Fairly easy 5.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Only in the bin once, and that's because I was trying to be cute. I didn't need to be, but I was trying to be cute. All right. Let me find it on this list. Get a little taste of it real quick, and then we can move on. Yeah. All right. All right, I'll do the thing here. And the reason I didn't lead with the thing is Dancing with Myself is where you want to go first. But I like when you tell me what you're going to do right from the jump. I know they evolve from it, but I also think it's a great song. How about From the Heart?
The thing works.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have it.
All right. We'll take the 3.
Oh.
I can understand that. All right. We'll take the 3. And Gavin?
I mean, just like Promises, it's kind of like I could have taken anything off the first record,
Yep.
so that's a little tough. But
Yeah.
I'll take a single from '79 that they did. It's called Friday's Angels.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, I got it too.
Nope.
All right.
Another 3.
Yeah.
The triple.
Boo, 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 doo, doo, doo. I was like, I have that, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. All right. John?
100 punks.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Figured that should get us to 6.
Boom.
I think we
We
got
all got it,
close,
right?
though.
Oh man,
Yeah.
so cool. John, I don't know if you guys ever read the John Savage book, England's Dreaming. It's like my favorite book on punk. But he's talking about Billy Idol. He's talking about like the first, the first punks in London, which Billy Idol was one of the very first. He was like a Sex Pistols like groupie, like fanatic. And he talks about I don't know why it was so moving to me. Like I kind of remember it being like in my town, like. But anyway, he talks about the first time he saw, like in London, like a punk that he didn't know, and he was like, "Oh my god, like this thing is, this is crazy. Like it's explode." He knew that it was like
take over the world.
Yeah.
exactly. Like what is going on? I thought that this was just our friends that did this thing, and like now they're. And then he started seeing spray painted on the wall, 100 punks rule, because there was only like about 100 kids that were into it, and I just love that story. He like I think that all those early bands, like for sure Johnny Rotten and stuff, like they all loved him as a kid. Like he was really kind of, there was a lot of love for him. Nobody talked shit about him, like from back in the day. They're all like, yeah, fucking William was awesome,
Huh.
I don't know. I just like that about him.
That's neat. Who put 100 punks up? Was that John?
That was John.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Randy?
I don't know where to go. I think I might go with the back half here because I mean a lot of my stuff is already off the board. But half of what I took from the first record is already gone. So it's still got a healthy amount left, but I think to divvy it up a little bit, let's do this one. The Prime of Kenny Silver's Part 1.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
No.
I had somebody answered that, and I went back to listen to it, and then I was they
Really?
didn't say which part. Firstly, they just said so.
All of
That's a
it.
deep cut.
Yeah,
That's a deep cut.
yeah. So I went back and tried to find a place for it, and I was like, you know what, this is too much thinking for Generation X, if you ask me. So I'm gonna leave it off.
Yeah, this was probably 19 or 20 to make the list.
Yeah.
And I decided, spoiler alert, I decided against Part 2. So I'm going to guess since you guys did not have Part 1, you do not have Part 2.
Yeah. Spoiler. How about King Rocker?
I don't have that.
No.
I passed on it, but that's a fun song.
Yeah, that's what I kind of led with for some of the later work, was if it was fun. And then bonus, somebody actually answered that. So I was like, all right, I must not be ridiculous here,
Yeah,
thinking that
that was a
was
single.
So, oh,
That was a single. Yeah.
all right. Well, that would also explain why somebody probably answered it then. All right. Gavin.
You guys have the John Lennon cover. Give me some truth.
I do not.
Nope.
I had that until I don't remember when. I was telling you guys earlier, I had a misstep on one of the other songs, and that was the song I took off.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like how he changes the words
yeah.
and says,
Yeah, punks, yeah.
stupid little punk rockers. Yeah, it's cool.
So for the record, I mean, it technically made my list. I just, had what is Kiss Me Deadly and Ready Steady Go. Like they had to be on my list. So
Oh, yeah.
I had to find something, and that was the one. All right, John?
Let's see if we can hit on another one here. How about Wild Youth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There we go. Boom, a boom. A
Nobody's
boom.
winning tonight.
Yeah. I mean, this is yeah, again, I hate using the word easy because it makes it seem like, there was no thought, but like, this is how this should go. Like, a band like this should go like this. Like, it should be a breeze.
I think everything I've picked has been on the list so far.
Wow.
That's cool.
Look at you. All right. Wild Youth is in. Randy?
How about another one? Youth.
I almost made room for that earlier.
Nope, too much youth.
Too much youth.
I mean, they're a young punk band. What do you expect?
Totally. I got you, Randy.
You got me. All right.
We'll take the 2.
It's a 2.
Yeah, we'll take the 2.
You.
But I think
It's a 6-minute song for a punk band like that.
Yeah.
I think technically the 2s, I mean, unless we really, really want to have conversations, the 2s are dead right now. Other than just the feeling of, oh, somebody else had it too. All right, let's see. What do I got left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still have 9? Wow. I didn't miss one, did I?
I have 7.
Oh, yeah.
Still have 11.
I guess I did have... Oh, wait, no. Okay, I have 8 because this one got a 3, and I forgot to mark it off. All right. Let's see. Let me try a Kiss Me Deadly track. How about Triumph?
No, I don't have that.
I didn't take it. That's a single too, Justin.
Oh.
I'll save you. That was number 20 for me.
All right.
Nice.
I was like, why not?
Yeah. I wouldn't have known. 2. All right. Gavin?
I'm gonna go to Kiss Me Deadly, and you guys have Happy People.
Yes.
No.
No.
All right. That's where the static is. The later records. Not that it matters because we've already got 7. So. All right, John?
All right. The Who had My Generation. Generation X has Your Generation.
Yes, sir.
Fuck
No.
yeah.
All right, we'll
I'm
take
out
the
on
3
that.
there.
The streak is broken.
That's probably the hottest open anybody's ever had, though, John.
Yeah, 4 in a row.
Yeah. Boom and boom. We'll take the 3, and now we officially have conversation as well. Randy?
How about the standalone track here? New Order.
I got it.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I'd picked that one. Then the streak would have continued. Yep, I had it.
Nice.
New
At 8,
That's
so
a
we can
cool
definitely
song.
get 2 more in.
Yeah. New Order is in. Boom, boom, boom. Let me find it on. There it is. Standalone. Play a little clip here. A little taste, as it were. Just agreeable. I like it.
40 tracks. It's like I was saying before, it's hard not to find the common ground.
1, 2, 3.
And it is kind of like I should have thought about this different. It is kind of like there's a lot, there's half their songs that have quality, and there's half their songs that you're kind of like, I think it's
I think
this is making sense.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just like that, I'm down to 5. I think we'll do one more round and then dump out. I mean, there's always the chance that we get one in the dump out as well. So, I guess let's be cute. How about Poison?
Yes.
Hey,
No.
okay, that's all right. All right, Gavin.
When I was a kid, and if one of my friends got upset, I had a friend that would always go, "Use a Kleenex." You guys have Kleenex off the first record?
I do, yeah.
I don't.
I do.
Hey,
That was. I
that's
think now that we're probably out of options for to sweep here to have a 10 episode. That was. I thought that if that made it, we had a shot.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we'll see,
Oh.
right?
I got 3 left, so it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna
Yeah,
dig a
I've
little
got
bit.
4. So, all right, John.
I think we can do it.
All right.
All right. How about Love Like Fire?
That's a good start. I got it.
I don't.
No.
Uh-oh. All right. I mean, not acting like we're in trouble here. We're not in trouble. Just the possibility of 10 gets slimmer and slimmer. All right, Randy?
All right. So it's either song from Kiss Me Deadly or song from the first record. What would you guys rather have me pick? Because I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. All right. I'm gonna just go from the first record because that seems to have the best success rate here. Listen.
Oh,
No.
no.
Yes.
Listen was the other one.
Not a lot of pile songs.
Yeah.
Like 4.
Listen was the other song that I had to dump out to make room for Kiss Me Deadly and Ready, Steady, Go. So I basically had it until whenever that was.
It was a good decision.
Yeah. All right. So I think I got 4. All right. So I'll start at the top here. Day by Day.
No. It's a great song.
Yes.
All right. Day by Day. Too Personal.
No.
No.
Yes.
All right. All right. What Do You Want?
Oh, that's one I cut at the last minute.
No.
No.
All right.
Oh.
That would have been funny. And last but not least, No, No, No.
Oh, it's a good song. No.
No. No.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Has it?
All right. Boom. And that's me out. And we officially, what was it, 7?
8.
8. I can count. All right. Gavin?
Off the last record, I have Revenge.
No.
No.
Off of the 2 B-sides to Friday's Angels, I have This Heat, which is maybe one of my top 3 songs by them, and Trying for Kicks. Do you guys have those 2 songs?
No.
Mm-mm.
I have This Heat. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I love that song. I have The Untouchables.
No.
Nope.
And I have Wild Dub because I love that version of Wild Youth.
No.
No.
All right. You got to be pretty close to done there, John, right?
I only have one left. Stars Look Down.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like we got the last one.
Oh, there you go. 2 and 2. It goes up. All right. Just for clarity, I read that right. That was your last one, right, Randy?
That's correct.
That's what you were saying. Okay. All right. So we got 8 here. I mean, we got Dancing With Myself, Ready, Steady, Go, Kiss Me Deadly, Running With the Boss Sound, Heaven's Inside, 100 Punks, Wild Youth, and New Order. It's a hell of a start. We got 3, 4, 5 threes. Oh, I think that leaves these 2s out. Has to.
Yeah.
Promises.
It's not even worth the conversation, I don't think.
Right. Promises, From the Heart, Friday's Angels, Your Generation, and Kleenex. I was on all of them but Kleenex. I mean, if that's Randy, you were on all of them. All 5
I
of
was
them.
not on Your Generation.
Oh, I've got that backwards. Sorry. because that was John. So you were off on one. Well, let me ask you, Gavin, is one of those jumping out at you?
Yeah, I think you got to have Your Generation in there.
All right. What do you think,
And it's
Randy?
like their first or second single. It's kind of a punk like anthem. It's fucking fun.
You're the holdout there, Randy. What do you think?
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
Does that prevent another one from that album going in? That's my only question.
I don't think so, man. I again, I like all the other records, but I don't think this is a band where album representation matters.
Yeah.
I think really what we're saying with this list and with this episode, go listen to the first record. If you like it, then you listen to the rest of the stuff.
Sure. I mean, 4 of these 5 are from the first record.
Yeah. So
I mean, honestly, I think what it came down to for not picking this song is that I just had vivid, just listening memory of the others.
Mhm.
And since I took like 9 or 10 from the first record, it just, I guess the other ones were just kind of in the forefront.
Yeah.
Nothing against the song at all. So if that's what you guys want to do, that's no argument from me.
All right. And then let's hear one from each of you, John. John and Randy, put up one that you'd want. I mean, unless of course you guys agree of the last 4.
I'd say, I think we can afford to get a little off the beaten path with this. I'd say either Friday's Angels or Kleenex.
Okay. What do you think, Randy?
I'm high on Promises.
Of course you are.
Yeah. That was my first pick because I thought it was up there.
All right. Of those 3, Gavin, is one jumping out at you?
I like all 3 of those songs a lot. I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, my choice out of those 3 would be Friday's Angels, but I'm fine with any of those.
I mean, there's something to John's, like, we have wiggle room to be kind of playful if we want. Something that's off the beaten path.
Yeah, it's nothing against Promises. That's
Obviously.
a great song.
Yeah. I mean, of the 3, the only one I didn't have was Kleenex. So, I mean, if we want to use that as anything, Gavin was not on Promises of those 3, and John was not on Friday's Angels of those 3. So, I mean, does any of that sway you at all, Randy? Like, how hard-headed do you want to be on this? Like, is Promises like the one, and that's...
I am not going to go home upset if Promises or any of these are not on.
Weren't you like 0 for the year in getting your last pick picked or something? Or is that the number one with
I think
the
it's
bullet?
That's the number one with the bullet, which I'm going to fight really hard for one today, and I think that's going to make it. So, yeah, no, that's I've been trying some different techniques on that, and yeah, not a high percentage rate there. I would say if we weren't going to go with Promises, I'd probably say Friday's Angels.
Okay. I mean, again, I don't think album representation matters here, but I mean, if that gives it the slight advantage to make this part of the conversation easy, then I say we do it. And
I think I only pick it because it was solidified in my list, and I had to go back and pick Kleenex.
There you go. Again, whatever reason it takes, right? All right. that gives us 10. We got Dancing with Myself, Ready, Steady, Go, Kiss Me Deadly, Running with the Boss Sound, Heaven's Inside, 100 Punks, Wild Youth, New Order, Your Generation, and Friday's Angels. Look, I can understand if anybody wants to make the case for Dancing with Myself, but I don't know that it is. What do you think, Gavin? Which one's the one?
For me, there's two choices, and you go either direction. There's my first choice, and then there would be Dancing with Myself. And I think the argument for Dancing with Myself is that it's a fucking great song. It's a banger. It's eternal. And it also is like a bridge song from punk to new wave. It's pointing the way to the future. It's early. It's 1980. That's early, that's early for the new wave. And it's like, it's what's going to happen. I think it's an important song in pop music, but it would not be my pick. Are you asking me my pick?
Yeah.
My pick would be Kiss Me Deadly, which I think is the greatest song they've ever written and one of the best punk songs that came out of the UK.
I like it. What do you think, John?
Well, first off, has Billy Idol been done?
No.
Okay. So then I say, save Dancing with Myself for that. I'm with Gavin. I think Kiss Me Deadly.
I like it.
Nice.
What do you think, Randy? Did the thunder get stolen? Did the thunder get stolen, or?
There was one song where immediately I heard it and I said, that was the fucking one. No doubt about it, the fucking one. And it was not Kiss Me Deadly.
Uh-oh.
Ready, Steady, Go is my pick.
That's a great song, yeah.
I do think it's got to be one of those two, right? Again, the ease of Dancing with Myself, I get it, but it's on the list. That's good enough. I do think it should be one of these ones, because again, Dancing with Myself kind of came into my ether as a Billy Idol song, and now we know, hey, no, it's not. These two are unmistakably Generation X, and I feel separated from that. I do understand your point, Gavin. I mean, I'm saying all this to say those were the two I was looking at as well. It's Ready, Steady, Go or Kiss Me Deadly, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that helps us at all. So
at least brings it down to the two.
Yeah. I think it's got to be one of those. And I mean, Kiss Me Deadly gets there. I think that might have been why I kind of passed on it initially, and then I go back and listen. I was like, oh no, I was wrong. That's got to be there. I think if you want, Ready, Steady, Go kind of gets there faster if that's what you're looking for.
For sure.
To me, it just catches your attention right away.
Exactly.
Kiss Me Deadly is a little bit more okay, let's process this, and then it kind of gets to where it needs to go. But Ready, Steady, Go, immediately, they do the chorus, Ready, Steady, Go, before getting into the lyrics. And that build up to get you into the I was in love with the Beatles or whatever crap. I was in love with television, whatever. I'm in love with Cat Me McGow, wow, 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 wow. That song is just so much fun. And I think it defines the episode and the listen, that this was a fun listen. Kiss Me Deadly is a little bit more serious to me.
Oh, yeah.
I get that, yeah.
Ready, Steady, Go defines my listening of this band and my intake of this band.
I think that was your best argument, was that is the definition of it. And I know you don't take this into account. And now that you guys are in on the best of episodes, it really doesn't play as much. But when you take a 3-letter word like fun, and I mentioned this, Fredo is on that episode, and I think I think he'd be prone to both of those songs, but I think the fun of Ready, he would gravitate towards the fun of Ready, Steady, Go versus the seriousness of Kiss Me Deadly. Again, I'm just looking for whatever argument to make our discussion easier, and I think he would gravitate towards Ready, Steady, Go first. So
yeah.
See, I think you're probably wrong, but that's another conversation. I mean, you listen to Kiss Me Deadly, like it's like one of those kind of 80s almost, it's not a power ballad per se, but it's got that like 80s sound to it. And that is kind of what Generation X was. Like they were a band that probably were too ahead of their time, as Billy Idol proved, as becoming a superstar in the 80s. But I mean, Ready Steady Go was my number two, but I think Kiss Me Deadly is more like that's their sound. That's not Billy Idol's sound. Like that's that's the song that I think people would be surprised to be like, oh, that's them. Okay, like that's the one that's I think gonna hit people and be like, oh wow, okay, like it's not quote unquote a punk song, but Generation X is not a quote unquote a punk band.
Mm.
I'd be good with either. I liked what Randy and you, Justin, said about Ready Steady Go. I think I agree with all of that. Ready Steady Go's a fucking straight up banger. I think it's like it grabs you by the nuts. It's like it's I think that I think it does. I do think it's a Generation X song. I think it does what 1977 was supposed to do, and I guess that album came out in '78. But but that song came out in '77. I guess just for a moment, because I love this song so much, to talk about "Kiss Me Deadly." What's amazing about it to me is like that it's a nostalgic song that like a 19-year-old is singing, an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
He's narrating his scene and already knowing that it's over and looking back, the Greyhounds rocking out tonight. He's like already like waxing nostalgic. And anybody who was there, of course, would just fucking it would be their favorite song. But he also is it's also timeless. It speaks to any teenager. Well, I guess I would say that at that point, teenagers that were into punk, it wasn't like, there were fucked up kids that were into that music. You know what I mean? You had to have something going on to reject and get all the shit you were going to get and reject society and align yourself with those people. And that song fucking covers it to a core. It covers all the check marks of teenageism, including the fact that it'll kill you, that it is a precarious time that you are not guaranteed to make it out of alive. And it's exuberant and sad and joyful. I think it's a very complex song. I think what you guys said is right. You have to sit down and listen to it. It unfolds on you in this kind of way where that song, as you're listening to it, to me, it just keeps unfolding in this way that makes you more ecstatic as you listen to it, especially if you relate to it. It's a personal song to me. It's a secret in my heart. I'm happy not to share it with the millions of fans of Deprogrammed and have it out in the world. I'm happy to keep it in a little room in my heart. I think fucking Ready Steady Go's a banger. I'm totally down with you the way this conversation goes.
Well, let's swing it back over to you, Randy. Like, hearing all this, where are you?
I think every argument is strong.
Yeah,
I really do. I think this
agree.
is a bit of a stalemate moment. Yeah, I am still on Ready Steady Go, and I think it's just I think of myself. I'm only a fourth of what the year-end competition is, but if I have Kiss Me Deadly versus Ready Steady Go personally, there's a lot of great songs that are already on the best of that I'm probably picking just by default. I don't think I would give Kiss Me Deadly a second look, but I think I would heavily consider Ready Steady Go. And I don't know if that's due to, we'll see how it all, fleshes out in the end, but like it might sound different. Both of them might sound different than all the stuff that's on that list, but just personal to me, I think that I am going to have a hard time not taking that if it meant, we got to find a way to get it in over the jam or the Buzzcocks. Like, and I know those might be a little bit more palatable for that year-end list, but it's going to be really, really tough. If it's Kiss Me Deadly, I can make an easier decision. I'll just put it that way. And I know that's only a personal thing. That's not going to sway anybody in this room, but that's just how I'm feeling with it. It was gut instinct when I first listened to the song. It felt so comfortable. It felt like, and I probably had heard it at some point in my life.
Yeah.
I would assume, whether it be in the conscious state or just it being in the background somewhere. But immediately when I heard it, I said, like, it was only the fourth song I listened to on this list. And I said, this one, I want to hear it again. I don't want to go to the next song. I want to hear it again. So
yeah.
I don't know what we do from there.
Because, I mean, again, it's a true, right now it's technically still a true split. Like it's a 2-2. All these arguments are too good. Like I'm hearing and taking them all in. Gavin, talking about like the unlayering, like, again, when I listened to Kiss Me Deadly again today, like it unveiled another layer to me, like that didn't strike when I went back to fix my mistake of not having it. So like, I can't imagine what it's going to do the next time I listen to it. Like, does that erase some of the, like, how long it takes to get there? Do I get there sooner? The thing I keep coming back to is Randy's point about fun, and not that Kiss Me Deadly, like, is a bummer of a song. Like, that is not what I'm saying. But, like, I do think Ready, Steady, Go encapsulates this, like, just fun feeling. And to me, that was like the permeating thing through the entire list. And then this episode until this, 30-minute discussion. I gotta say, I did not see this coming. Like a stalemate on an episode that we got 8 through unanimously. Like, that's crazy.
And by the way, I thought after Gavin's speech on Ready, Steady, Go that this would be a shoo-in.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I assume you have not been swayed, John, because you have not chimed in, but do you have any more thoughts that could help sway the conversation?
Yeah. I mean, for me, Kiss Me Deadly is 1A, Ready, Steady, Go is 1B. I think Ready, Steady, Go is, like you guys are talking about, like a fun song, and there is more of a quote unquote punk song, but I think Kiss Me Deadly is the better song.
I agree with that sentiment. I think Kiss Me Deadly is the better song. And I mean, if that is the weight we want to use to push this through, then, that's what we do. I'll say this as well. Like, I think while Generation X is definitely fun, I think there's like a million punk songs like Ready, Steady, Go. You know what I mean? Like, that's not disparaging. It's more like Kiss Me Deadly is undeniably Generation X. You know what I mean? Like, I still lean Ready, Steady, Go, but I agree with John's assessment of, I think Kiss Me Deadly is the better song.
Randy has it. Randy, you're
No,
saying
I'm not swayed. I'm not swayed at all. But it's a tough argument.
Yeah.
I think it just goes back to that same conversation that you brought up, Justin. Like, how did it define the episode? How did it define the listen? I think Kiss Me Deadly was, I don't want to say like strayed from, I guess when you look at this, like, Kiss Me Deadly is kind of like, it's the one that you would see in a set list that kind of brings the tone down a little bit. And then, Dancing With Myself, Ready, Steady, Go, 100 Punks, like, those are the pick-me-up songs. So yeah, it stands out in a certain way in that aspect. But again, I think it just goes along with kind of what we've said about this episode. The fun aspect is something I can't drop.
I almost feel like we're
Randy,
So
you were saying
what do we do?
yeah.
you were saying that you haven't had any pick for number one make it this year. Is that what you were saying?
Well, I've I've made a lot of like, and I wouldn't even for some of them I wouldn't say like off the wall choices, but for Tom Petty, I was like, look, everybody knows the hits. Do we really need to go with a hit? I love Running Down a Dream. It's a fantastic song, and yeah, it does define Tom Petty, but You Wreck Me had everything that a Tom
Yeah.
Petty song should have. And in that argument, I was just like, why the fuck not? Because if somebody didn't know Tom Petty, really didn't know him, and listened to that one song, I think they're sold. And I think it's kind of the same way here, except for Ready, Steady, Go is, considered one of their classic songs.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I almost
But yeah, I've been shut out.
I almost feel like we're in coin flip territory because it feels like nobody's moving. Like I said, I'm willing to move over to Kiss Me Deadly if the thing we want to do is put up the better song, and I think Kiss Me Deadly is the better song. I am with Randy in the camp of putting forward the more fun song, and to me Ready Steady Go does that. So it depends on which argument we want to put out there. Hey, this is just the better song. Maybe it kind of surprises somebody that well, this is the same guy who did Dancing with Myself. What? Or do we give him kind of
Let's just pick Eyes Without a Face and be done with it.
does anybody have any final thoughts? Because I don't have a coin. Never mind. I was gonna say I'll just flip a coin.
I'll just say to that we've done episodes before where the best song has not been the number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think, maybe even the best song could be considered Dancing with Myself because of just how, global it was, how, Generation X was very much a British band, but people in America know that song. And if people in America know that song, you've made it. I'm not arguing for that, but I'm saying that we've done this before where we've picked the song that defines what this band is, and the better songs have been on the list, but not the number one. So it doesn't necessarily need to go there.
See, I think Kiss Me Deadly defines them more than Ready Steady Go because they weren't that they didn't stick to that formula that the first record was. Like they had aspects of like Springsteen and the Faces and the Who and all that, Beatles and Stones. So I think Kiss Me Deadly incorporates all that stuff, whereas Ready Steady Go is, and I can't believe I'm the one that has to say this, is just a punk song. Like the Buzzcocks could have written that, the Clash could have written that, but I think Kiss Me Deadly is something that only Generation X could have done.
Flip that coin.
Yeah, again, I agree. I actually agree with that sentiment. It's just, I keep coming back to that. Ready Steady Go is just fun, and it's hard for me to let go of that because that was this listen was a lot of fun. So, if somebody does have a coin, I will trust them. I do not have one.
I have a plate to flip.
A plate?
Actually, I think I do have a coin somewhere.
I don't have a coin.
We're being very trusting here, and I think this is a first. I think this is just usually I'm a lot easier to move, and I just it's hard for me to move off of the fun
I can
aspect.
flip a baseball card. Well, I don't know if that's going to get the same aerodynamic patch. Let me try this. I got a patch. It's not a coin.
I wonder if there's got to be like
They do a button, maybe. Hold on.
Coin flip simulator online.
Oh yeah.
No, I got a coin. I got
Okay.
one.
Well, also the button. I'm sorry. The simulator will be definitive because we won't have to rely on like, oh well, you're just saying that because you want this song in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can hear the change rattling. I do have coin.
Oh, I'm not saying you don't have coins. I'm just saying we wouldn't know if it's heads or tails unless you wanted to take the video.
I can take a video of it if you want. But
Who
I
would have
will,
guessed? Who would have guessed that we would be here on Generation X of all bands? Yeah.
Serious shit.
All right. So hold on. Let me.
Okay.
So
do you want me to flip it?
so we've got Ready Steady Go and Kiss Me Deadly. Is Steady Go heads, Kiss Me Deadly tails?
Sure.
All right. So Ready Steady Go is heads, Kiss Me Deadly is tails. When you're ready, John.
Well, first off, I want to say this is a 2017 Effigy Mounds quarter. If you're playing the home game. So here we go. I've got my phone. I'm videotaping this. I have shown that there are two sides to the coin. It's not a trick coin. And do you want me to just let it lie, or should I catch it and flip it?
That lie.
Yeah.
Let it lie. Okay. Here we go.
I'll post this to the gram.
It is tails.
Oh,
Okay.
Kiss Me Deadly it is. I mean, we can't ask, you can't ask for, it was literally 50-50. So, all right.
I'll win one day. You'll see.
I mean, at least you didn't outright
You'll
lose.
rue the
Like
day that you disagree with me.
At least he didn't outright just get, talked down this time. Like this, it took
true.
a coin flip this time. So,
Yes,
all right, let's.
That was the toughest battle.
And this one was just flat out tough because both of those songs were very worthy. All right, so let me get that going underneath us, and I'll get a. There we go. One last go through here. Kiss Me Deadly is our number one after all of that and a coin flip. Dancing with Myself, Ready, Steady, Go, Running with the Boss Sound, Heaven's Inside, 100 Punks, Wild Youth, New Order, Your Generation, Friday's Angels rounds out our 10. After all that again, let's let Kiss Me Deadly get a moment in the sun.
Another dumb casualty, having fun. Salvage 6, hit a flick, knife flicks. Oh, kiss me, deadly tonight.
Yeah, that's right there. Like, we're already 50 seconds in and it hasn't gotten there yet. That was the holdout for me. But it's worth it. I can't go too long because Spotify will take my podcast down. So we can't do that. There you have it. We have turned you on to Generation X. And I mean, if you really listen to the episode, what we're saying is go listen to that first record. You'll love it. And then just, I think Randy said, like, soaking wet 2.5 hours. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes, 40 songs. Like, just do it. Just listen to all of it. There's some songs that are like, okay, whatever, in the later records. But like, for the most part, the permeating thing that came out that made us flip coins here was that Randy and I had a lot of fun, and that was why the one song kept sticking out to us. So, with that, hey man, maybe you didn't like how we went about this. Maybe you hate that it came down to a coin flip. I personally like it. I think that's fun. I think it's really funny that happened on this band. But maybe you hate that. And if that's the case, then I don't know, come play yourself. You can go to legionofstupid.com. You go to shows. You go to deprogrammed. Not even halfway down, there's a sign-up sheet. Tell me what band that you want to talk about. And if it's a band we haven't done, we will figure out a way to get you on the show and come to talk about them. With that, patreon.com/oh hi Justin, $1 a month gets you in the door. The conversation we're about to have after the fact, which I have a feeling a coin flip conversation is about to happen. like something about that. We will talk about that, and that'll go right to the Patreon immediately. The episodes of Deprogrammed are there before the rest of the world. Occasional oh hi Justin. Still, the kids just went back to school, so I'm still trying to find the groove of fitting that back into my schedule. And whatever else tickles my fancy goes to the Patreon. It also gets you a Discord role in the Legion of Stupid Discord that gets you access to certain channels in the Legion of Stupid Discord. So come hang out in the Discord as well, Legion of Stupid. I don't know if you can search servers yet. I'm pretty sure you can. If you can, look up Legion of Stupid. If not, there's a link right there on legionofstupid.com. Click that. Go join the Discord. Patreon, as we mentioned. Podcasts, as we mentioned. We're on all platforms. Spotify, you can now leave comments. Would appreciate that. If you're going to do that, please leave a 5-star review. We would appreciate that. It does help us get seen in the algorithm. Know that for a fact. Same thing with Apple Podcasts, if you wouldn't mind. And wherever you're listening from, sharing is caring. Would appreciate that. And of course, the absolute best way you can help this show is by telling somebody that you listen to it. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed. You should too. And with that, Generation X, learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Bye.